Hello and welcome to Two Girls, One Pod with Tina. I think we might just change our name to that. We've changed our name twice already, Tina.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you before?
The Why the Fuck Not podcast.
Oh, there you go. Okay, this is pretty good.
It's catchy, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Because we started it because we were just like, why the fuck not do it?
And it's I think that's been our motto anyway. It's just like, you want to do something? Well, why the fuck not? Like, just go for it.
Just go for it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It really represented us, who we are and how we feel. But we thought that it might stunt we want to be super worldwide and crazy famous. And we thought that it might stunt our growth for the pod. So.
Yeah.
Limit your options there.
Yeah.
So we think we went with Two Girls, One Pod and figured that anybody who gets the joke on that is probably going to be just a little bit of an older generation anyway, and kind of our people. So
yeah, we our hockey team did a trivia night I don't know, it was a couple of years ago, and we went with the 6 girls, 1 puck kind of.
Love it. That just solidifies how meant to be this is.
That's great. Full circle right now.
Full circle.
For sure. All right, so we are moving into another Big Brother episode. We are going to talk about 2 episodes tonight: Big Brother season 23, episodes 3 and 4. Mm-hmm. So episode 3 was veto competition. Episode 4 is eviction. So let's just kind of jump right in with the start of the episode. Frenchies' continual meltdown, because this man is just
well, that's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Listen, I'm sure that what we're seeing is probably just the surface of what they're going through.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of paranoia in that house this week. And Frenchie being the root of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a really paranoid season.
Yeah, maybe.
It seems like I know every season is paranoid, but it seems to have kicked off intense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Whether or not, Frenchie is the kind of source of it all is kind of yet to be determined, I guess, until his final days.
Yeah.
I think it's coming, but it's I think the other house guests want a little bit of a break from the whole Frenchie thing right now.
100%. Everybody seems like I get the feeling that they are exhausted, and they're mad that they're exhausted so early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hands down, right? They probably feel like they're on week 10 right now.
Yeah. And it's been 8 days.
Frenchie's acting like it. These story. Okay. All right. Okay. So the whole house, we see what happened after the eviction. The whole house is blindsided. Nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about. They're like
nominations.
yeah. Not what I say, eviction.
Yeah. But you meant noms.
Right after noms, and nobody knows what he's talking about. They're like, "Am I the big fish? Who's the big fish?" No, nobody has a clue, because he's not talking to anybody about what he's doing. He's just doing things, and I don't think he gets it.
And his team even kind of said that. They were just like, we don't know what's happening. It's like we're supposed to be a team and none of us know what's going on there.
Again, right? So he's managed to confuse everybody in the house right now, which is, leading to lots of paranoia.
And then he straight up told Christian then after that he's the big fish, and that he put Alyssa up because he could see a showman's happening. And did you see the look on Alyssa's face? She was like, what? Christian, I think, would be down for it, because he was like, well, maybe. But she was just like,
and I mean, it's day 3 at this point. It's like, really? There's gonna be a showman's that early?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I don't even know your middle name yet.
Just too much. And then we saw what you were saying, Tina, last time about all he needs to hear is, "Oh, that's not true. You were wrong." And then he's like, well, now what do I do? Like, dude, do your before you make the move.
It's like if he's gonna do something, he needs to fully stick behind it and not be bouncing around and kind of being flighty in his decisions, because it's not going to help his game. And the other house guests are seeing this kind of easily swayed mentality that he has with the game right now. So yeah, it's definitely going to be detrimental, I think, to his game.
Yeah, I think he's so excited that he's on the show that he's trying to do everything he ever thought he wanted to do on Big Brother in the first week.
Now.
Yeah, again, he's coming in, too hard, too fast.
Yeah. Coming in hot.
I definitely made a note. I was just like, maybe you should start talking to people, Frenchie,
Well,
before
and,
you make a decision.
Kind of a
100%.
Yeah, and a side thing on that, there was a comment made in the POV episode about Frenchies hasn't been having any conversations with Isaiah, and she is on his team.
Yeah.
So you need to utilize your teams at this particular point, because you are playing as a team, even though it's individual games. You're still on a team right now. So if you're not having conversations with the people who are on your team, then that's kind of like not giving a good impression off the hop either, right? Yeah. So I mean, he could be utilizing that to his benefit, but he's not.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. I was already in tears. First episode to have me filling up in tears when Sarah Beth was talking about being bisexual and her upbringing being like very Christian background.
Yeah.
Or well, I think I just threw Christian out there because
she did say highly religious. Yeah.
Religious, yeah. So her religious upbringing and how she was torn and everything. So I'm watching that, and I'm here today. We had all kinds of like contractors in the house trying to get these renovations done. I'm trying to catch up because we missed it yesterday. So I'm on the computer and I'm like doing my paperwork that I need to do from last night while I've got Big Brother on, contractors around, and I'm like fucking crying. And I was like, I had to pause it and watch the rest tonight when they were all done, because I was like, I'm just gonna start crying at this, and they're gonna look at me and be like, "Are you crying at Big Brother?" Like, what? But
side note, I don't know if you know this, Tina, but she cries at a lot of things.
Okay.
And I don't.
Yeah, I'm Crystal. I'm with you. I'm not a crier. I didn't cry in the Big Brother Canada house. Yeah. Well, once when I got the video from home, but that was
fair.
See, I cried when you got the video from home. I did. Like what was the episode where all you hear is "What are you at?" And like you guys didn't know you were getting it. You were all like looking around because you heard the voices. Well, fuck, I cried through the whole thing. I was just watching it and I was like, they get to hear their family.
She did.
I don't know.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
I cry at TV. Like in the moment when things happen to me, I don't cry. Like it's really strange. I'm one of those people who's like on the spot. No commercials, like Burger King commercial, I'll fucking bawl. But like something happening in real life, I don't. But anyway,
if I'm bawling at television, I'm PMSing, and you fucking know it. That's it.
Was it last week when we interviewed Tara and we were talking about like a couple of things that we were going to ask her, and you started to fill up and you're like, man, I've been like this all fucking day.
I was like, this is the worst week. Anyway, I digress.
Moving on. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to note that was my first tear up moment was episode 3. So I made it 3 episodes in before getting all snotty and bawling.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Good accomplishment.
And then I went right back to fucking Frenchie. So after he found out that, this showmance wasn't a showmance, and now all of a sudden he's like, well, I gotta do something, or my HOH is shitty, or whatever he said. And now he's going around the house like all stealthy, like, who's my next target gonna be? I'm like, this guy just
it looks like he's like making up stories in his head. Like he sees stuff, and then all of a sudden he just set his target on Derek X, and then he was just like, oh, this guy's suspicious. And I'm just like, any more than you are right now?
Yeah, it's like I said, it seems to be kind of a little bit of a power trip right now at this particular point. It's almost like and he made a comment at one point where I believe he said something about people making alliances on his HOH, and I'm like, well, dude,
Duh.
They're not
alliances are being made right from the start, right? Like,
yeah, I made that note too. I said he thinks every person is suspicious, calling everybody out, saying that they're forming alliances behind my back. That's
Yeah.
what this game is. Like, not that they're saying, hey, let's get Frenchie out tomorrow.
No.
They're just talking to each other and seeing who they can form an alliance with to make them get to the end, right? And then he's like, I don't know.
And the thing about it is too, is at the beginning of the game, you're forming alliances left, right, and center. There is that many alliances on the go. Like, we're only seeing, a couple being shown. I mean, I guarantee you there's a lot more being done in that house right now where, just about every second person is probably in multiple alliances. That's just the way it goes until you figure out which one is going to be your true alliance.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's I don't know. Does he think that the only people who are allowed to make alliances are the people in HOH? Like, does he think that like you win HOH, you put up people on the block, and you're the only one who's allowed to make alliances that week? Like,
I think he expected everybody to come to him and just want an alliance immediately because he was HOH. That's almost like the feeling that I get. Like like you said, Gina, he wanted it to be this powerful situation. He feels like it's a thing of power. So it's almost like he wanted everybody to come to him and just start doling alliances.
Maybe kind of expected to kind of gain a lot more information out of it in terms of, people coming to him with all kinds of info, and maybe that's not really what's going on. Who knows?
Yeah.
But even Brent kind of like took him aside and he was like, calm down, dude. Like, you just need to relax.
He is my favorite right now.
Who?
Brent.
He's my draft pick.
He's going to win you that draft because like just the fact that he took Frenchie aside, he defused the bomb, and I feel like Frenchie's a big bomb to defuse. And and I mean his strategy even behind it. He's like, okay, I got to take the headlights, I got to take the shine off of Derek. He's in my alliance. Let's sway Frenchie. Like, he full on puppet mastered Frenchie.
He did.
He was Brent was the mastermind behind that whole kind of situation.
I really like him. Like, he's my favorite right now.
He's playing well, but not hard not from like a Frenchie standpoint.
And not even in like a sneaky way. He's just having normal conversations.
Yeah.
But he's so good with his words and so good at relating to people.
His persona is very very relaxed, very I think people when they talk to him feel at ease and automatically trust. Right. And that's huge.
That's massive. So I'm really impressed with that. The veto competition, do we have any notes up to veto competition that you guys didn't touch on? That, like, am I jumping ahead?
I did make a note that when Brent and Frenchie were talking, he also noted the fact that, like we said about Travis and the tech company and the retiring to Hawaii and stuff, I'm just like, people are noticing this. You said you weren't going to say it.
Yeah, that was a downfall for Travis in that particular scenario. He shouldn't have kind of revealed too much of that information about himself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it was too much too early, I think.
Absolutely. That's a good example, like we were saying about like Xavier and how he's hiding what he does. That would have been a prime person to do the same. Like, Travis should have also hid what he did. He should have been like a waiter or something. Like, he's this surfer dude. And he was very chill. Like, he was very relaxed in the house, and he was funny. Like, a great personality that we saw, like this game, that he was funny and he kind of went with the flow. So I feel like if he had to lie from the get-go and just say that he was like a lifeguard or waiter or whatever, and not intimidate people, that he probably could have gotten further.
He would have been kind of probably seen less of a threat. When he revealed that information, he became not only a physical threat, but he also became a possible mental kind of strategic threat.
Absolutely. So we get to veto. 6 people are playing. The HOH 2 nominees and then 3 people based on random selection. So I'm so happy that they're still letting the HOH play here, because the Canada one makes me want to scream. And it's the only thing that I like better about the US version is that the HOH is allowed to play in veto, because I just think that's so unfair that the last couple of seasons they haven't been on Canada. So I'm pumped to see HOH playing in veto comp, even though I don't like Frenchie. I'm just happy that that's a thing. Veto, Travis, Tiffany, Kyland, Alyssa, Frenchie, and Derek X get to play. And I made another note that I'm really ready for Frenchie to go home now.
So I've got to point out that Derek X was very smart in how he thought about his strategic, how he was going to play this POV. He started from the bottom while everyone else started up at the top. That was smart.
It was.
That particular competition. He figured out the bottom, let everybody else do the rest of the work. All he had to do was do some tweaks, and boom, he secured the POV for himself. So very, very strategic move on his part there.
Yeah.
That's what I noted too. I was like, that was super smart.
He's been playing a really good social game too. Like, he seems to adapt really well to people. So I think he's one to look out for to go pretty far.
Yeah, I think he's kind of going to be a triple threat type thing. He's got the smarts, he got the competitions, and the social.
Yeah, absolutely. This
I would also like to point out that he's in my final 3.
And here we go again.
Here are our predictions. Stop being right.
I don't know.
Only like
Melissa,
episode 3.
Did you write down her predictions? Because she keeps saying that she has these predictions. I want to make sure that there's proof of this, right?
Yeah.
You have them written down, but I want to know if Melissa wrote them down.
I didn't, and I think I'm gonna go back and rewatch the episode, because
you may have to, because I thought for sure at one point she said Brent was also in it. So
he is.
I don't
Brent
even know
and
if these
Derek
names
and
are...
Xavier.
Yeah, today.
Okay.
How
many race marks are in that book?
None, because I don't use pencil, Tina.
Okay. Okay, how many pages have you torn out yet? We're only in like...
You look, there's like a bunch of crumpled up papers behind, right?
Oh God.
Okay, can we please talk? So in the competition, so Derek X pulls it out, fucking genius win, fantastic. And then he's talking to Frenchie. Well, okay, before that, Brent has the conversation with them all.
A little more damage control.
You're doing great. Like, he starts puppeteering again. He says, go up, talk to Frenchie, do whatever Frenchie wants. And Derek does exactly that. But my favorite thing was that he's in there, sat down, and Frenchie says, listen, man, I don't want to sway your vote one way or the other. Like, do what's best for your game.
But I want you to use it.
And in the same breath, he goes, I want you to use it. Like, this guy, oh my God. I mean, we're talking about him. So
but even then, it was like they were having a conversation finally, like one-on-one, just like chill, sitting down. And all of a sudden, his opinion of Derek X suddenly changed too. He was just like, oh, well, he's actually not that bad of a guy. And it's just like, well, maybe if you took 5 minutes to talk to people, you'd find out what they were actually like.
He's so busy monitoring the house and trying to watch everybody and be a background guy. He's missing out on the actual conversations that could be taking place.
Yeah.
He's not actually getting to know them, right?
Yeah.
And then he says, oh my God, there's obviously something that we're not seeing, because I couldn't understand how Derek maybe he did talk about it in the dining room, they just never showed it, but like, he says to him, people want it made no sense. People want Travis out.
Oh.
And I'm hearing that if you don't use the veto and Travis stays, then they want you out.
Yeah. Well, he full out lied to him. And then I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what was the purpose?
It was almost like he was either trying to, kind of scare him into using the veto. But even if that was his ploy on that, it's going to come back and bite him in the ass.
Exactly.
Because this week's going to roll around and Derek is going to be, asking, Frenchie said, y'all coming after me this week if I didn't use it. So that could be used in Derek's, favor as well, because if Derek does start getting a bit of heat on him for using the veto,
Yeah.
he could just say, well, listen, Frenchie told me that you guys were all going to vote me out if I didn't use it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it was kind of like, so it could be, used in his advantage as well.
Yeah.
There's one thing to like put a white lie out there, but that was like an aggressive lie.
Yeah, well, that's going to hurt Frenchie in the long run, right?
What I don't understand is it was an aggressive lie, but it wasn't a believable lie.
No.
It was believable that like the house would want Travis out, but it makes zero sense that if Travis stays, the house is going to go for the veto winner. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that doesn't make a lick of sense.
No.
Now, to us, it doesn't.
But yeah,
But
that's why I say
we don't know.
There's gotta be something we're missing.
Yeah, maybe there's something we were missing, but then there's also the fact that we're not sitting there in the room. So who knows what was going through his head while they were having this conversation.
Yeah, that's true. And like you say, like it's different. It's a different. Gina's just like, yeah.
Gina's like, yep.
It's a different world when you're in there.
It is indeed.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I just made more notes about how out to lunch. I said the lights are on, but no one's home. Like this guy is.
You literally have those in your notes?
Yes,
Yeah, that's what she does.
Okay, so I have notes
my
talking
phone.
about players in terms of the lights are off.
Yeah,
no,
no,
she
as
fully
I'm
writes
going-
down her thoughts.
I write like what I'm thinking during the episode. Like I'll be watching it and I'm like, this guy's an
Amazing.
idiot. And I write down like this guy's an idiot. Like full on. You get it all. You get what I'm thinking when it happens. And
I
like,
kind of do that, but I also like, I usually just make a little jot note. Like for instance, the announcer called Travis the Hawaiian Stallion, and I was like, is that a thing? I'm like, did this happen and I don't know about it? Like,
I love the recaps at the beginning too. They're always like a hoot.
yeah, they are
And like
funny.
Julie talking about like Frenchie
Well,
saying,
what was it? Frenchie said it like something about rainbows or something. Like, what was that all about?
another speech that made no sense.
Farming is not always rainbows. And I was just like, I don't know where this
Yeah.
is going.
When is it rainbows?
Right? And then he was like going on about something
I don't know.
about stud bulls. And sometimes I don't know, like you got to get rid of one. And I guess that was Travis.
Made zero sense. And I wrote down Derek takes Kylan off the block. So Derek wins veto, takes Kylan off the block. And I said, but can we please talk about Frenchie's speech?
They don't make sense.
What is this guy talking about?
I need, if anything, I mean, he's making some great TV in terms of
Yeah.
getting us all having conversations.
And it is, yeah, like I don't know.
We're
I
not going to forget him.
No.
I don't know how to express like because I don't understand them. I think that's what it is. I just like I don't get it. I don't know. I'm boggled. Anyway, that was the end. So
That was the end.
took him off, and then Frenchie put up Travis,
Who was pissed?
who was rotted because he was one of the other 15 people that he promised safety to.
Yeah. Well, he was one of the first three.
But that kind of goes to show that, like, for they were portraying Travis in, the whole kind of bio videos and whatnot. He said that, like at one point he really truly said that Frenchie's a man of his word and, is not going to go against it. It shows either one of two things. He obviously knows nothing about what's going on in the house or that he, like he's not involved in any conversations if that's the case, because everybody else is talking about the fact that Frenchie can't keep his promises.
Yeah.
But yet, Travis thinks that he's a man of his word. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, he's not having the right conversations, obviously.
No, and I think we'll see that.
Yeah.
Now in this episode 4, eviction night. Like, okay, we won't spoil it. Let's
Don't
keep
go right
on
to the
going.
end.
I'm just jumping ahead.
Yeah.
I do like that everybody uses Frenchie's name as the F word now.
Because that's what it
Yes.
means. Yeah, which is great. And I think that's great. And maybe from
What the
now on, I'm going to start saying that.
Yeah. What the
I
frick?
know.
Yeah, no, I won't. I will
No.
use the full-on F-bomb.
Yeah, me too.
Say it. You can say fuck.
Just
Say
say fuck it.
Say it.
Just fuck it. Whatever.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Right?
This is how I am with my
Like,
kids, by the way. I'm like, say-
Also, it doesn't sound the same. Like, it's fine and dandy for television because you can't say it on TV anyway, but like we can say that on here and it's totally fine. And if I was to say fuck it, it doesn't sound the same as if I say Frenchie it.
or
It's
or
weird.
French it, because then
Right.
that's just got. Although I guess it has the same kind of meaning. Anyway, we'll get into that. We don't
No,
need
no.
to get into
That sounds like kissing. That's not the same.
I mean, it leads to anyway, so the new alliance. So let's talk about the slaughterhouse, ladies.
Mm,
The word.
Like,
I don't know.
Cute name.
but it was so erratic. It was just like, at first I was like, okay, he's making this alliance and he's got like Xavier and Whitney. And I'm like, okay, this seems like good. I mean, you know, and then all of a sudden he's just like, yeah, I'm going to add all my threats. And then he's like, so now I got Alyssa in here. And I'm like, she was a threat?
She's
What
on-
happened?
She's also on the block, and you
Right?
nominated her.
I mean, let's just keep pulling them all in one by
Exactly.
one.
And he's like, oh, and also Kyland, but also Christian, and also Brent, and also Big D. And I'm just like, now there's 5 million people in this alliance. And I'm just like, they're all over the place. Like nobody seems to have anything in common.
And honestly, I think most of them are there just because they got called into the room. You know, there's no way that I can see that lines is going to stick it through and last.
And like
Well-
Tina, so you can speak from experience. Is there ever a situation, ever in the Big Brother house or the Big Brother Canada house, where you sit down in a room and somebody says, "Do you want to be a part of this alliance?" and you say no? Like, does that exist?
No, I mean, you'd be crazy not to. I mean, you know, by you saying no, you're just kind of putting a target on your back, right?
Yeah.
Like there was a couple of times in our season where, you know, I guess to some degree I got kind of penalized for kind of working with the other side of the house, so to speak. But at the same time, if you're sitting down, it's not necessarily that I was working with them. It's the fact that I'm sitting in a room, you're being confronted about working. What are you going to say? No, sorry, I'm going to go over here.
No, thanks, I'm
Exactly.
already working with people over here.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, this guy pulling in like fucking 8 people or 7 other people and being like, guys, this is it. Let's do our little chop thing. Like, we're the alliance. We're gonna make it to the end. And every single person sat down because they all talk about it after. They're like, yeah, cool. We're saying yes, but like these two don't like each other. This guy nominated her and she's still on the block, but like it just goes
It's not going to work.
delusional Frenchie really is. Right.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, I understand the point behind it. I understand that he's trying to keep himself safe by like building a wall around himself, but I'm just like,
But I just don't know if the people that he's bringing in are loyal to that fact. I think
No,
had
exactly.
that been done maybe before all of the kind of drama that's been kind of stirred up, if it had been done earlier on, maybe then they would have, you know, felt like that maybe they needed to protect him. But
yeah,
because they've gone through all that process now in terms of, you know, all the confusion and paranoia, I don't know if they're going to want that because they're going to see Frenchie as a liability to their lives.
100%.
Yeah.
I made a note. I was like, too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
See, we
Absolutely.
just write what we think.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you guys saw, but it was a very quick little note too that Kylan, Tiffany, Big D, Azza, and Xavier have an alliance called the Cookout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
was like, that should be interesting to watch. You
I
know?
could see that one lasting. Like
Yeah.
that's an alliance that I would consider a strong alliance. That's people who got to know each other. They had the conversations. They trust each other, which is huge.
Yeah.
It's not just some guy picking random names and random people and being like, hey, come protect me. That alliance seems like it's good for everybody in it, which
Yeah.
is what's going to keep it together, right? Like it can't just be about one person.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think the slaughterhouse is going to crumble in due time.
Yeah.
Oh,
And what about
quicker than French kiss?
yeah,
Oh my God.
like
Like, who, you know, I mean, this got to be the first time in Big Brother history that a man approaches to create a female alliance. I mean, I'm all
So
for the
bizarre.
female alliances. You know, I'd love to see them go and last and actually fight through it and get to the end. But I don't know,
And he
something
even
just
said
didn't seem right about that.
an
No.
all-girl alliance and Frenchie, and it's like, but then it's not an all-girl alliance. Like,
Yeah.
stop it.
But the thing about it is, maybe he you know, sparked those ladies into something, and they're like, okay, you know what? Let's do the all girls alliance,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
let's just not
without
let
you.
him.
I know. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, because like they all seem like they're going to get along. It's just and maybe, like you said, maybe they will, I don't know, bond over the fact that this is such a ridiculous idea that then they'll all be together without him, you know?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And
almost
Hannah
felt
knows
like-
exactly what's up.
Oh, oh, she is smart.
Yeah.
Mm.
She's
Yeah.
already, we're not seeing a lot of her, but what we do see, I'm like, this girl's gonna go far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I did
it-
love that they're feeding his ego. They're just like, oh yeah, this sounds great. Like we'll just do it. Exactly.
It felt like a mansplanation. Like it felt like he was coming in being like, all right, girls, you need a girls alliance. I'm gonna
Right.
start it for you. Like
I'm gonna do this favor for you.
got this, you know?
French off.
French off, Frenchie. How long we're gonna keep that
I
up?
don't like it. I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, I just made a note. In Frenchie's mind, he's the best player in Big Brother history. In real life, he's Looney Tunes. And everybody knows he's
Oh my
full of it.
God.
Was my next note. Everyone knows he's full of it.
Yeah.
Travis.
Watch him get saved now, and not even get on the block next week.
I'm
All right.
telling you.
Hey, you know what? Stranger things have happened. Who knows?
Well, I was wondering at the end, I'm like, fuck, if he, I just want him to go home at this point. I'm done with Frenchie. Like, too much on my TV.
It was definitely a hefty week.
It was a lot. It was a lot for sure.
So it's Kylan's 30th birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was that lap dance?
It was interesting.
I thought of Tina immediately.
You weren't interested in that?
No, not my cup of tea.
Not for being interested in it. I thought of you immediately because when the guys dressed up in the BB Can house and you like
Oh.
screamed.
You know what? Listen, Travis had nothing on Kylie.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Kylie really brought it in the BB Can house.
Yeah, I can
They
see
all
that.
did.
I can see that.
Yeah. BB Can is always more like outlandish though. Like, I don't know. I'm a big,
We're just
I'm
more
into
fun
it.
people.
yeah, I really like the Canadian one for sure.
Yeah.
First eviction vote. Oh yeah, okay. I was going into Travis's speech.
Oh wait, I was going to
I
I
jumped-
made a note about when they all chatted, like the Queen's team chatted, and then they were trying to like save Travis because they didn't want one less team member, which makes sense.
I skipped
right?
over a few.
So then they told him to go up to Frenchie and kind of pitch his reasons for staying, valid reasons. You know, he could have been a shield. So
But how did you feel about the way he sold it? Because
it sucked.
I'm looking at him and I'm like, this guy's in sales and he's retired. Like, what?
Like you're not even selling it to me.
He just sat there and was like, all right, here's my reasons. And he, like, now again,
Yeah, I think coming from a sales, I kind of expected a little bit more of not formal, but just a well-versed pitch.
yeah,
Or like convincing even.
much.
You know what I mean? Like it just didn't feel like his heart was in it. He was just kind of like, he was like, yeah, so I could be a shield and that's about it.
Yeah.
And then moved on.
What could she give you? I can give you more. So
Bye. Like that's what it was. It was so weird.
yeah, it was that I was looking at it thinking, is this his profession? Like, is he the worst salesperson ever?
Yeah.
I've got questions, right?
And then he's like in the diary room and he's just like, he said something about having a business degree. Did you hear he has a business degree?
Yeah.
I think I heard him say that.
Yeah.
7,000 times.
Oh, I thought you were really asking me.
No.
Yeah. Well, Yes.
I'm like, is she being serious? Because I thought we kind of covered this on the first bio episode.
No. I think he has a business degree or something along those lines, or had a business. I don't know. Anyway,
If it wasn't almost 11:30 at night, I think that Tina and I would have thought that was way funnier. We would have understood it right away.
was
Laughed so
my
much.
humor is lost on the two of you.
Well, I'm gonna replay this tomorrow.
Listen, it's a late night here right now.
I'm getting too giddy now.
Oh no. You're getting the nighttime sillies like Tara used to get.
Yeah, that's happening. It's gonna be bad.
Oh geez.
Okay.
Let's start over from the beginning because the sillies are so much fun. We erase all this and start over.
No, we gotta go to bed.
Okay. So let's get to the eviction vote. So I didn't really think that I'm forgetting their names already. The
Travis
lady.
and Alyssa.
Alyssa. It's
Yeah.
the end of my name. How did I fucking forget that?
That's pretty bad.
All right. So Alyssa,
Here we go. It's late at night, folks.
It's happening. Her speech was very expected. It was regular, keep me, do what's best for you, whatever.
Yeah.
But Travis's speech was so funny.
It was. I was like, where was that speech 5 seconds ago when I watched you try to pitch something to Frenchie?
Like,
So bad.
I think he would have been a great, like, I've been back and forth with him. Last episode I was like, I hate Travis. This episode I'm like, he's kind of funny. I think he would have
me
done
too.
well. So I'm back and forth with him, but unfortunately we won't get to see what he's got to bring because
11-2.
11-2.
You're out, buddy.
But how relaxed was he?
You know what we're seeing too is like you're seeing it on like a live eviction. You're thinking that the decision hasn't been made until it's been made. But when you're in that house, days before when you're going.
Yeah.
Right.
I
When the minds are made up.
Yeah.
There's no changing them, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's hard though to know you're going and being like, come on. Just don't send me home.
Just keep me,
please. And we know he's a good salesperson.
Yes, he's great at it. Pretty sure he has a business degree.
Yeah, doesn't he have a business degree?
There's that fun again.
Does Travis have a business degree?
So anyway, I was laughing too because it was like when I saw Brent coming out of the vote, like right at the end, he just made this face where he like, I don't know, I guess he like pursed his lips or whatever. And he reminded me of Zoolander. I was like, oh my God, it's Blue Steel. Anyway, these are the notes that I have. I'm like, it's too late.
Nina, you got to up your note game. You got a book.
Tell me about it. My notes are kind of strategic, serious, and to the point, man. I'm going to have to start like bringing down the fire on these notes.
Want that too, but like throw in this douchebag over here, or what the fuck is that guy doing? Something like that.
No, you know what? I will never ever judge another house guest ever again. I don't care how bad they blow their game up.
I don't care if they're Frenching it, write the French up.
Frenching it, write the French up. Yep. I mean
that house does weird things.
Yeah.
That wasn't judgment. I loved Zoolander. It's a great movie.
First one, second one.
The second
I
one
don't
was a
know.
little out there. So anyway, bringing back the HOH.
Reeling it back into this.
Reeling it back in. And we're not editing this.
No.
Get the giggles.
So then they did the
She's going
HOH.
live, folks.
It's just like streaming live, honestly. Only if you say something by accident, we can edit it.
Right.
If it's bad enough that we feel like we should.
Right. But it's gotta be pretty bad for us.
Yeah.
So the HOH competition comes up and I have a note that says, this looks hard as fuck.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too, what made it tricky is that you couldn't.
She's gone.
Right.
She's gone.
Maybe
gone.
we'll have to edit some.
She's gone.
Were you eating gummy bears before?
Can't even each other.
She's gone. The nighttime sillies have commenced.
So
I don't know what happened.
what did I do?
okay. I'm okay.
I have no idea.
And we're back. So we did say that we weren't going to edit, so we paused and got most of our giggles out. Some of our giggles out.
Yeah.
A giggle out. I don't know where we were though. Where were we at? We're at the HOH. So
Yeah. Super
HOH
hard.
is super hard, and I think one of the things that makes it harder is the fact that
I can't even look at her.
I apologize, listeners. You really should
Sorry.
watch our YouTube video though if you're listening, because at least you feel like you're here with us.
It's okay. Okay. Me and Tina aren't gonna look at each other anymore.
Do I have to minimize everybody's pictures? Zoom boxes.
Oh God.
It's like 11:30 at night in Newfoundland. This is brutal, but like,
What do you do when you stick 3 newfies on a podcast after
Right?
10 p.m.?
it's like 2 hours past our bedtime. Okay.
God.
All right, we can keep this together, ladies. Just like a couple minutes.
Just put something over each other's pictures. Like
I'm not looking.
stick your notebook.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull down the brim of my Yes Buy hat
Oh.
by Best Kind Apparel.
Oh, yeah, that's by bestkindapparel.com.
Oh, what? Yes.
See?
I
Okay.
regret not getting a mug though. I regret not getting a mug because I realize I'm drinking out of this all the time, and I should have got them. So I'm gonna have to go back on and make another purchase.
There you go.
Mhm.
We can do that. Okay.
She's
So-
at it again. Tina,
HOH.
shape up.
Okay. So
All right,
it's
all
like
good.
pool, and then they had technical difficulties, much
Right.
like us, which happens clearly.
So yeah, we never have technical difficulties.
Right.
Yeah, so I think what makes this one hard is that you can't choose the same number twice.
Right. Yeah. And we can't. Okay, I'm just gonna cut to it. So it's hard. People were trying to shoot balls into a shark's mouth.
Go on.
Kylan won.
Go, Colin.
And we were so happy because we love him. He's so sweet.
Oh my gosh.
And now I'm crying.
Who's on Kylan's team? Can someone tell me?
What?
Who's on Kylan's team? Tina, she's balling.
Kylan's team. I can tell you. I have notes.
Oh
Okay.
God.
So he's on the Queens,
Yep.
which means that it's
Is it the team?
it was Travis.
Okay, yeah.
Travis was on it. It was Kylan, Tiffany, and
Okay, it's a good team to be safe. Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
It's your
happy
team.
about that because that means Frenchie can be nominated, hopefully.
right.
With
Yes.
any luck. So do we
There's
have
also a wild card.
someone on the block?
What?
She can't look at that. She can't. Do we have predictions for who's going on the block tonight or fucking next
Sunday?
episode?
Fucking sweat.
Because I'm not editing it. I'm not. I'm uploading it now when we're done talking.
It's fine.
And our regular episode goes live in 30 minutes too.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm hoping that it's gonna be Frenchie, but we'll never. Jesus Christ. Oh God. Have you been sticking that up this whole time? Trying to hide it with the broom in my head. Love you guys. Oh man, this is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Listeners, you are welcome.
Yeah. Maybe I'll edit it for the podcast, but can we all?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't have anything. Oh wait, hold on. Hang on. A dragon.
Oh,
Oh,
I think
God,
next
that's
time we
hilarious.
should just like tape this stuff to our faces or to the camera and just.
Oh God, that was hilarious.
That was a really good one. That was a
It
really.
was, yeah.
I'm gonna cut that from the audio. I'm gonna leave it in the video.
Yeah.
So, all right, who's getting nominated this week? Quick before we lose it.
Hopefully Frenchie.
I think
Um,
Frenchie for sure, and maybe Christian.
Yeah, but it's going to depend because there's a wild card competition again, and then there's some kind of weird twist that Julie mentioned.
Yeah, where you have to switch teams if you're going to compete.
Yeah, in order to be safe, whoever wins, they have
Yeah.
to switch teams.
So
Which is
that
gonna
should be
an
interesting.
twist for sure.
For
Because
sure.
they're starting to get comfortable with their little, group, right?
Yeah, right. So that should be interesting to see. Like, do you want safety or do you want a comfort? I don't know.
Mhm.
Safety.
Safety. That's the name of the game.
So you jump ship then right away, then would you?
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck you guys, I'm out.
Big Brother assigned teams, I think I probably would, because you're jumping for safety.
Mm.
And again, I guess we need to know the rules.
But what does that say then, though? You're dropping your current teammates for another group.
To
So
me,
then-
it says I'm
then-
more worried about my individual game.
I mean,
Which
it could be used against you too, right?
100%.
You know, if you got
that's
three
true.
Yeah,
people
it's
who are like,
definitely a
well, you
risk.
jump ship, so you're an easy person to put up on the block.
But
Yeah.
could I spin it and tell them that I'm going to jump ship and now be like a double spy? So I'm going to go over here before safety,
Mm,
but I'm also going to do some recon for this team. And I'm going to report back to you guys because you're my original homies and I like
Yeah.
you.
yeah, definitely.
Depends on how gullible the others, your teammates are.
Frenchie'd believe it.
I mean,
He would, yeah.
Monica
And if-
would believe it.
If you were Brent, you could spin it.
Oh yeah. Brent
Easy.
could make anything happen in that house. I'm convinced I think he's going to be my new winner.
Yeah.
I know it's early. It's
Perfect.
episode 4, but
Right?
Tina is taking home the draft. Like,
Yeah. It's happening. So sorry, BB Can 9 other contestants that are in this draft. You're not winning. Tina's winning.
Lose. You all lose. You know, I
Oh my
said that for
God.
the voice from the soundboard from that from the This Is Important podcast, right?
What?
You lose. Lose. Don't make me
Oh
do
yeah, yeah.
weird when I try.
Sorry. All that pops into my head is I'm like, yes, points.
Now we gotta start saying yes, boy.
Yeah, I know. I
Yes,
can't do that.
boy.
I'll
I
find a
was saying
soundboard.
yes by a lot this whole episode or fucking episode 3, but it was more like yes by.
Yes.
Yes by.
That's right.
That isn't that the whole point of this entire hat and saying, like,
Yes, but
Yes by.
it means so
All
many
right.
things. That's the
it
point,
does.
right?
It really does.
It's like, yes, bye, you're an idiot, or yes, bye, that's
That's right.
amazing.
Yes, boy. That's what's
Proud of
going
you.
on.
Right?
Oh, good for you. Away. Yes by.
Right.
Come on, boy.
Go on. All right. So on that note, I guess that wraps up episodes 3 and 4. And we got all of our giggle fits out. And I probably won't be able to go to sleep now because I'm all hyped up.
Yeah, I'm wired.
So Melissa and Crystal and Tina are gonna go meet for some drinks instead of going to bed. But yeah, so tune in. We're gonna be doing these episodes. I know this is Friday that you're listening to this, but we're going to be doing them Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays that you should be able to listen. So basically the next day after each recording. Next week, Crystal will be gone. Is that next week, Crystal?
Yeah.
We'll be back to 2 girls, 1 pod because Crystal's out.
Yeah.
And Monica, it's going to be 2 girls, 1 pod, and Monica.
Right.
Oh, all
The
right.
expression on her face was
It was
hilarious.
perfect. So, listeners, if you don't know what we're talking about, because we cut that section out, maybe, go to our YouTube page. Is it just 2 girls, 1 pod on YouTube? The number 2 girls, the number 1 pod on YouTube.
Yes. If you go to our Instagram, the link is there in our link tree.
Yes. And on Instagram, it's 2 girls _1 pod. But anyway, if you go there, you look at our YouTube video for this recording and you will see what we're talking about and who Monica
You
is.
will meet Monica
Yeah.
and Crystal's reaction to her.
Which was fucking just golden. It's everything, honestly. You probably heard that. I'm gonna leave that in. I'm probably not gonna edit anything out.
No, whatever.
Okay, so that was Two Girls One Pod with Tina or Tina.
What yet?
What do you at? What do you at, boys? Yes, boys. Okay, and now we're gonna awkwardly dance our way out.
Right.